In the world of sales, why is it that salespeople hate sales meetings? Why do they suck, and why does it matter to you? I'm Sylvan Bell. I'm coming to you live from the North Shore of Oahu. I'm at Kahana Bay on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you. Now, here's the thing. At some point, the process inside of the sales meeting is going to go, we're going to role play. And if there's 10 people, there's one guy that always raises his hand like me and be like, I'll role play. And there's 2 or 3 other people that, like, if you coax them into it, they'll role play. But, like, let's say there's 6 other people, they don't want to see what's going on. They don't want you to see how they're selling because they're probably not good. And what it comes down to is they don't want to be criticized. They don't want somebody going, you're not using this step, you're not using this part of the process, you're doing this, you're doing that, and they don't want to look dumb. And so what they do is they just kind of like, you can't see me. They're like a little kid. You can't see me. So they don't want to role play. And what ends up happening is you have this disparity. You have 4 people who are willing to role play. You have 4 people that are willing to show the goods. You have 4 people who will say, hey, look, I'll show you how I'm closing deals. I'll show you what I'm up to. And then you got 6 people who are like, eh. And this works out just about every type of sales meeting that I've ever been to. You got 20 people in the room. You got 8 people who will do the work. You got 12 people who will stand around and they don't want anything to do, or sit around and they don't want anything to do with the role play. And it makes meetings tough because you have 4 people who are consistently talking, and then after the meeting, everybody goes back in the hallway and they're like, did you hear what he did? Did you hear what he said? And it becomes a very contentious way to go through a sales meeting, is to only have the 4 consistent people role play. And then, you know, the manager looks around and he's like, gosh darn it, how come I can't get you to role play and you to role play and you to role play? They already know the answer. And it's not a good answer. It's probably because that sales guy or that sales girl is not good at what they do. And they're not coachable, they're not trainable, they're not ever gonna be a salesperson. They're like, I'm a salesperson, I'm a closer. I'm like, no. That person is typically a discounter, a price matcher, and to top it off, a complainer. So like, why do sales meetings suck? Because people have to role play, and most of the time, they don't wanna do it. Now, I'm gonna give you the secret sales lesson here, if you've watched this far, which you should. And here's the thing. Every chance you get a time to role play in front of a group of people or multiple people, it helps you out because it puts added pressure on you. Whereas everybody else is just sitting there and they're like, I don't know if I want to say this in front of people. You are never going to be in a situation where you're sitting in front of 20 clients for the most part in most industries. 2, 3, 4, maybe 20. You know, like sometimes people will say, hey Scott, I hate to put a lot of pressure on you, but I got a whole bunch of people coming to this meeting. I'm like, how many is a whole bunch? And they're like, 6. Like, that's not a whole bunch. I presented in front of 1,800 people. That's a lot of pressure. You got nothing. So every chance you get, you should be role playing. You should be practicing. Who cares if you make a mistake? Get the coaching, take the lumps, become a closer. There you go. You got one thing to do from here, just one thing. Find the subscribe button. Click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update that says Scott Bell Consultant sent another fantastic video, probably from a cool location. Today, I'm in Kahana Bay. There's like one person on the beach that way. We'll see you soon. Thanks for dropping by. Aloha.